What is up, fam? Welcome back to the Steep Stuff Podcast. I'm your host, James Lariello, bringing you guys a super fun episode I'm super stoked about. Lots of supers in there. With none other than 2025 Trail Team Elite Selection, Miss Kyla Christopher-Moody. Kyla has had a really fun journey, both on the indoor, outdoor track, as well as the cross country as well, at Montana State University. We talked a lot about her time on the track and just her collegiate experience, which was really fun to get into. We talked about the transition, making that transition from the collegiate level to running on the trails at a high level as well. We talked about some racing. Kyla last year took a top 5 finish at the GoPro Games 10K against some stout competition. And we talked about what we're getting into for this year. Kyla's currently signed up for Sunapee, where she's going to be competing at the Mountain Classic Mountain Running Championship in hopes to get a bid for one of those world spots, but it's going to be super fun, super competitive race. I'm sure she's stoked and ready for. And on top of that, we talked about just like that transition life, being able to kind of make that move and what that's like coming from the tracks to the trails. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Kyla Christopher-Moody.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Listen up, guys. The Steep Stuff Podcast is brought to you by Ultimate Direction USA. Guys, I am so excited. UD just dropped their new Race Vest 6-liter and Ultra Vest 12-liter in 2 beautiful aesthetic colors. You guys got to check these new vests out. They're dynamic in ways like that you just have never seen from an Ultimate Direction vest. Very stretchy, lots of storage, beautiful aesthetic colorways coming to you in a new, like a white and blue and an onyx and green. Just absolutely beautiful vests. I think these ones are just like some of the best products we've ever dropped, and I'm so excited for you guys to try them out. Hop on ultimatedirection.com and use code SteepStuffPod. Again, that's SteepStuffPod for 25% off your new vest. I mean, they're already affordably priced, but 25% off is just going to make it so much more affordable for folks in an already increasingly expensive trail running environment. So hop on ultimatedirection.com, get yourself a new vest, a pack, or any hydration solution, and let me know what you guys think. Kyla Christopher-Moody, welcome to the Steep Stuff Podcast. How are you?
Doing well. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Yeah. No, I'm excited to have a conversation with you. Congratulations on making the trail team this year. That's exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super stoked about it.
Yeah. We'll get into it. We'll do a deep dive into there. First of all, how's your day going so far?
It's good. It started to get a little gloomy again here in Bozeman. Not quite spring yet, so
yeah,
a little disappointing.
Yeah.
So it goes.
How's the so the weather's kind of gloomy there. It's funny, I guess we're pretty far south. I'm down in Colorado Springs and it's been like 70-degree days. It's been so nice. Oh my gosh. Yeah. it's been bananas how warm it's been. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Montana's still kind of brutal. That's no bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe give me the 5-minute elevator pitch on your background and kind of like how you got into running and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I started running when I was around like 5 years old, just a like week-long summer camp. And I was always the best, which was really fun as a 5-year-old, to just be good at something. And then I mostly focused on soccer up until the end of middle school, and then really started taking running seriously, and then got really good at it. And I went to CU for undergrad, CU Boulder, and And then I actually quit my last year there because I could feel myself not really liking running anymore. So I stepped away from the sport and then came back to it for grad school here at Montana State. And since then, and I feel like I'm really leveling up this year. So stoked to see how that
Nice.
transitions to the trails.
Are you originally from Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay, super cool. I lived in
Yeah.
Ann Arbor for a year. I almost
Oh, sweet.
went to Michigan for grad school. Yeah, are you a Michigan fan or like a Michigan State fan? Like, what do you identify as?
Well, both my parents went to Michigan State.
Okay. Oh man.
And then my brother went to U of M. So
Okay. Super
we
cool.
don't really have a preference, but
Okay. Super cool.
yeah.
What was it like, I guess high school wise, like that cross country track running scene? Like, was it pretty good infrastructure for being able to get pretty good, like good competition? Like, what was that like for you?
Really, really good competition. Our my like high school cross country county meet was insane. Like I want to say like the top 20 girls all went D1. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but like I remember I went to Foot Locker my sophomore year of high school for cross country, and I think like 6 of the top 11 girls were from Michigan.
Wow.
For the Midwest region. So yeah, Michigan was like a definitely powerhouse state when I was in high school. Don't really follow it much anymore, but yeah, it was a great place for competition. The training location was pretty okay. Yeah, I grew up in West Bloomfield, and there was a nice like rails to trail right near the high school. So that was nice, but very flat. So yeah, not very conducive to trail running.
Yeah. So we'll get into like what inspired you and like what got you stoked on like on trail running in the first place. But like, I'm curious about like coming out of high school, like the recruitment process, like what made you choose Colorado, and like what was it a difficult decision for you? Was it an easy one? Like, what was that like also being recruited by one of the best running schools in the world?
Yeah, it was very flattering. Yeah. Yeah, I think my entire life I've kind of been like I know I'm good, but I always have that like hesitation of like, am I really that good? And which is something I'm working on. But the the recruitment process was really interesting. I like weirdly enough in 5th grade I had this like college project of like where like just choose a random college around the country and do little like what GPA do you need just to like get young kids excited about college. And I chose CU Boulder when I was 10, and then
Wow.
and then when I like started running, I was like, oh, there's just no way I'm gonna go there if I want to run in college. And then I started to get really good, and I was like, well, I guess I could go there now. So yeah, and I mainly chose it because I found Boulder like really interesting. It's an interesting place. And I chose it for the cross country program, of course. But I was injured like my whole time there. So
Oh God.
um,
Let's
I
talk about that. Let's dive into that.
yeah.
Like, I know some people, it's funny. I talk to a lot of folks. Most of your folks, more, I'd say maybe 90% of them, usually like professional trail runners, like run at the collegiate level, more or less. But like everyone has, an overwhelming majority of them have a gripe of like what it was like running in college. They all kind of hated it, more or less. Like what was that like for you? Like it sounded like towards senior year or the end, like it kind of wasn't so exciting for you. Maybe talk about like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I came in like 2019, my freshman year, with 2 stress reactions. And I was kind of like, oh well, I'll just run through the pain, it's gonna be fine. But then that was super dumb. And then like I just got in this vicious injury cycle. And I think I raced 2 total cross country races when I was there.
Wow.
And it was both like those were both during that weird COVID season that was in like February. So those didn't even count for eligibility. So yeah, I was just like battling injury the whole time. Really cross training, and I like refuse to go near a pool now, other than to splash. No exercise in a pool for me. But I got really into cycling because of it, and then like for training, lots of cycling. And then what was really difficult was that like I didn't have that release that running gives me necessarily, because like I just wasn't in nature like I want to be. So that was really difficult. And then like once I would be able to run again, I'd always be on trails because I wanted soft surface. And then which maybe wasn't the best idea because some of them are a little too technical for coming back to running from injury. So
Gotcha.
yeah. And then like toward my senior year, I don't know, I knew I loved running, and like something was telling me that if I continued at CU running for them, I would not keep that love. So I quit.
That's very like a very grown up thing to do, to know yourself that well to make that decision. Like, were there people around you helping you make that decision, or was that a deeply personal one for you? Just you knew that that's what you wanted to do. Good for you. Like a lot of people would have stayed in and like suffered through that. So I can commend you for that.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. It was like probably the best decision I've ever made in my life, like to leave. Yeah, because like I mean I quit the team, but like I feel like if I had stayed, I would have been quitting on myself because it just wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then but I'm back in the NCAA at Montana State, and I love it. So.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So you've kind of like almost like kind of reinvented yourself in one way or another now that you're at Montana State. Like what has that been like? The program is just way healthier, like the coaching is way better. Like what do you take away from it that you think has led to more success?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd necessarily say like reinvent myself. It was more like refinding myself, because I think when I was at CU, I was totally lost. And now I'm back. And I mean, I definitely think like where you are and the people you're around makes a huge difference, but also that year that I took, I think really set me up for success here. And yeah, the coaching staff is great. I love my teammates and I love the location. And I think like it's a healthier environment, but I'm also healthier myself.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
All right, now let's talk trails. What got you what got you stoked about the trails? Like what excites you about it? What part of that competition? Like especially because you're an NCAA athlete. I think now for someone in your position, it's easier to realize versus like years ago that like you can actually like make a career in trail running. Like people do it now.
Yeah.
No, like what gets you stoked to do that?
Yeah. So my family, we would go to Grand Teton National Park every year from when I was like probably around 5. And ever since then, I fell in love with the mountains and just being in nature on the trails. And as I got older, when we'd go there in the summer, I'd start running on the trails there, and I just loved it. And then I hopped into a like hill climb race there at Snow King Mountain, and I loved it. And I just like I kind of crushed it, but I didn't register because the Michigan high school rules were pretty weird. So I just like ran it, and it was really fun. And yeah, after that, I was like, okay, I really, really want to do this later. Kind of like kept it on a back burner. And then at CU, I like one summer after being injured for like a whole year, I really wanted that competition aspect of running again. So I ran at GoPro Games, and I got first in my age group. And I was like, oh, sweet. Like I can actually like this translates pretty well and it's fun. And a bunch of my teammates from CU came up with me to Vail. And we just had a really good time. And since then, I just like get out on the trails whenever I can. Yeah. And then last year I did GoPro Games because I didn't make it to nationals for track. So I was like, well, I'll just drive down to Vail. and then I got 5th overall, which was exciting.
So what did you run? Sorry, I like poked around on like Ultra Sign Up as well as like a bunch of Cirque Series results, and I could not find. I probably should have asked you before we had this conversation, but I did not. I did not check the GoPro Games results. I didn't even think to. Let's talk about that. What did you run? The 5K, the 10K? Like what did you do? And yeah, let's talk about that race.
Yeah, I did the 10K. And I felt like really horrible because I'd been training for a 5K on a track for the last like 6 months. So I was not really set up for success physically or mentally, because that was the first time I ran on a trail since like the previous summer and fall. So yeah, I don't know what like got me through that necessarily, but
I mean, fitness is fitness, right? Like a lot of it's, what is it, GoPro Games, a lot of that's like dirt roads anyway, so fitness is fitness, like it helps kind of transfer, so that's cool.
But I like I was pretty burnt out from track season, so I was just like, oh, this will be a good training run, I guess. And I like, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I basically just like walked up and then would like sprint down the technical parts, because I think from cycling and skiing, I'm really good at technical downhills. And I just kind of like crush, and I think that's where that race went well, because the uphills were pretty abysmal for me.
Interesting. It's so funny. Like Dan Kurtz is similar. Like Dan Kurtz, highly touted prospect to come in, and like I would think like, is Dan so fit coming from Iowa State? I was like, dude, like his thing has got to be like uphill, but no, he's like a badass downhill runner. And I see more and more folks coming into the sport like with double NCAA backgrounds that like are really good at downhilling, and that's like the last thing. I think you guys would be better going uphill. It's just interesting to me. I don't know. So that's cool that like the skiing and mountain biking gives you like this ability to pick a line and like hammer that. That's pretty dope. So you like the downhills better then? That's interesting.
I don't know. I'm excited to see like what happens when I actually like train for uphill running with purpose instead of just like doing it when there happens to be an uphill on a trail.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I saw you were on the wait list for Broken Arrow VK, well, the Ascent, like they call it now. How do you plan, especially because we're still in season, if you will, like how do you mix that up? How do your coaches let you mix that up with some training, or are you just going to just continue to develop track fitness and then, because that'll translate great. I mean, if you come in super fit, you'll crush people, and then maybe a few sessions of downhill and your body will learn easily. Yeah,
exactly. I am definitely going to focus on track training until trails begin. So who knows when that'll be, hopefully after outdoor nationals. And then the week after that will be Broken Arrow. So be kind of a quick turnaround, but I haven't talked with my coach all that much about what to do, but I think it would probably be the same as what I'm going to do.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think, like you said, like fitness is fitness. So, if I'm ready to go on the track, like I'm sure I'll be ready to go do some big climbs.
It's interesting to me because I think people get so caught up, and you'll see this as you get like more experienced in the sport. People get so caught up in like the minutia of like specificity, like so much time out before a race, and it's like, dude, just get like super fit, and then you could like 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, like you don't have to do too much to like actually get like the specificity, like get your muscles ready for like particular stuff for a race. So it's interesting because like Anna Gibson, she's someone I really look up to in the sport, former trail team girl, obviously one of the biggest female names on the sub ultra side, but also really good on the track, like insanely good. And she did like I think it was last season, did a whole track season, and then like just came in like super fresh to the Broken Arrow VK, and like I think got second or third place, like did amazing. So it can be done 100%.
Yeah.
So I see you're signed up for Sunapee as well. I'm super excited to hear your thoughts on like just going to that race and what that's going to be like. Cause that's, it's like kind of throwing yourself into the deep end with, you know, all these crusher women. Like, what do you expect to, you know, for that race?
Yeah, well, that one actually lines up with the middle of track season. So I'm signed up for it if I don't go as far as I want into the track season. But it's also kind of a like win-win situation where if I don't go as far in a track, I can do that race.
Okay.
So if I do go to that, I'm really stoked for it. I think that course is like perfect for someone like me. Yeah, just the like up down kind of situation, I think will be really good.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Do you think like, because I don't know, it's always interesting to me seeing like new people come into the sport and panic when they get into deep water with some of these like a Grayson Murphy or an Allie Mack. Like these women are insanely good. But like for someone like you who races such fast, fit women like already and like at a super high level, like it's almost like not that difficult for someone like you to kind of transfer like right into that, right? Like I don't know, I feel like the mental space is kind of one for one, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I think I don't think I'd necessarily be nervous about who I'm racing against. It's more like where am I racing? Because it's going to be so different. Like there's not going to be people all around a track or all along a cross country course. Like it's just going to be basically like me in the woods for a while, a couple of spectators, and then like yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest shift. And also like at this point, I have no idea where I will fall against competitors. So the I don't know, I think it kind of opens it up for me where I don't have these like preconceived notions of where I should be.
Yeah.
It's just like I go out there and go hard and see what happens.
Yeah, roll the dice and see where you land. I mean, like you have no, like you said, no preconceived notions of what it's like or, you know, what it's going to feel like or this, that, and the other. So yeah, I mean, and when you don't have expectations like that, you don't feel like you have to win the race. Like you could possibly win the race. Like you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So yeah, I know it's super cool. I'm excited. I mean, like I'll be at that race. It's going to be a super fun one. Like just like the amount of people showing up and because it's like a national team selection race, it's like good for you to see like what that'll be like at the highest point of the sport. So it's good experience there. What is, so what's your take on joining the trail team? Like how stoked are you? Like what's your favorite part about joining it? Like, have you talked to any of the mentors yet? Like talk to me about that.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it. Obviously I remember when it first started, I was just like feel like super down and out with running in general, still being at CU, and then I saw like who they were looking at, and it was like Anna Gibson. I was like, oh, yep, definitely not happening this year. Like, and then yeah, I think it like this year, I think like I got the call the day or the morning of my Big Sky conference championship race in the 5K. And I was just like such a confidence booster for the race too. And I like and like I don't know, I back to what you actually asked me about. I like I've known a lot of the people that are on the trail team for a while. My old roommate and really good friend Anna Schultz is on the club team, and every now and then I would join for their practices and like run up Mount Sanitas with them, and it's just a good crew. And at GoPro Games last year, I hung out with the whole trail team, and then Carly Rempel, she and I were with each other in the race for a while, and she was like talking with me and having a good time. So I'm really excited for the team aspect of it. Yeah, and I think just the whole concept of it, I think, is really needed in the sport. Because like you said, like it's becoming kind of a more well-known thing that NCAA runners can make that transition. And I don't really know how. And that's what the trail team is for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really excited that I have the opportunity to learn how to make that shift.
Yeah.
Um,
There's so many things. Like, I mean, it could be
yeah,
something as small as nutrition or something as big as figuring out how to get into a race. Like, there's so
right.
many different little like things that people don't think about. You know, for NCAA athletes to come over and, you know, have success. And a lot of you find success very quickly. You know, a lot of it's, you guys already bring over, you know, a gigantic amount of fitness. It's just like figuring out how to apply that. And, you know, most of you, like I said, like, I think, you know, first and second, you know, teams of, you know, the trail team that Andy's picked, like, I mean, a lot of them run professionally now, and it's just kind of crazy. So yeah, it's very cool. Like the mentorship aspect too. I think there's like, I don't specifically know who he picked this year as mentors, but like usually it's a group of like professional athletes in the sport and people you can just like rely on and ask questions to. And it's always just like such a good wealth of knowledge to learn certain things. Like even especially for like the European races, like what to do there. Like Andy's always been like a huge pillar in the sport for helping Americans when they go over and have no idea what to do because the Euros do things entirely different.
Yeah, exactly. Andy's a great person and a great resource for me and the entire sport. And yeah, I'm signed up for the Pitts Alpine Glacier Run and Sierra Zinal. And I like had no idea how to do any registration for that. Or the registration is fine, but just like the whole setup is going to be complicated. And I'm really happy that I have Andy in my corner to help me out with that.
Oh, he's the man. Like literally first ballot Hall of Famer, but like just an even better human, like super cool
Yeah.
guy. Let's talk about that a little bit. Like you're swimming with sharks. Like that's jumping right into the series and all is like the race of races. Like that's my bucket list race. I haven't gotten over there to race it yet. People don't know it starts in a place called Siri and ends in a place called Zinal, which is pretty dope. I didn't know that until I looked it up. Well, what do you think about that? Like, are you excited to go race some of these mythical races? And like,
Oh yeah.
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah. I honestly don't really have words for it yet because I haven't like fully comprehended that I'm doing that. But yeah, I'm really stoked. Like just for the location and the competition. Yeah, and it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, such a good learning experience too. Like so much to,
Yeah.
you know, like that's like, especially to race like the pinnacle race, like something like series and all early on in your career, like you're going to learn so much. And, you know, and you get to see like how European racing is. It's like, now you want to talk about fans, like it's nothing like America. Like those people they go wild. It's so cool to have like real fans and real spectators at these races. And like people like really get stoked over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So super cool. Is there any race like, I don't know. Like, is there anything that's like popped out to you? I'm always interested to get takes on people that are like so new to the sport. Like, is there any race that's like popped out to you that like, oh my gosh, I want to do that? Like, have you come across anything that like really like a Mount Marathon or anything like that where you're like, ooh, that looks fun?
Seriously, no.
Seriously, no. Oh man, you're hitting the bucket list one already. All right, super cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard about that race for a while, and yeah, it's always been on my bucket list since I like found out really what trail running is. And yeah, I'm excited that I get the opportunity to do it. And just like go for it and see what happens.
Super cool. Now, I know as athletes, everybody's got like, we all have big goals. We always like have, there's always a goal oriented process for everything, right? Like, I'm kind of curious, like, how do you view, especially being so new this year, like, do you have goals? Like, what are your, like, how do you approach this, or how are you mentally approaching this?
Yeah, I would say at this point I more have like process goals instead of outcome goals, and like or more focusing on the process goals, and then the outcome goals will figure themselves out with the process goals. So it's more a mentality thing at this point of just seeing what happens. And like I don't know, like I said earlier, like I don't have preconceived notions of what I'm able to do, but I do know the big names, and I know what, like I know who it is, and I will be racing against them. And I think the big mental thing is to not write myself off.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea. I mean, I do have some idea of my abilities, but I just don't know where it falls amongst my future peers. So yeah, that would be the main thing, is to not write myself off. And then see where that takes me, which could be far.
I think it's a really healthy way, because like I'll talk to some people that are like just like fresh into the sport, and they're like, I want to go get a top 10 at this or top 5 at that, and that's like, well, what if you don't? Like, what are you going to take? Are you just going to be disappointed, or are you going to still learn from it? Like, it's all, it's still, it's such a hard sport to nail the first time around. And it's like, I think like, especially culturally too, like, especially for someone like you, just go to race at different places and take different things away culturally. And I don't know, I think there's just so much more to it than the results. And it's more to just like enjoy the people and enjoy the, the process. And if it clicks, it clicks. And if it doesn't, well, you got a lot of time to figure it out. So, super cool. Yeah. What shoes are you running in these days? Like what kind of brands do you like?
Well, right now for track and just like running on, well, mainly concrete right now, because it's still basically winter here. I really like the A6 Nova Blasts. They really like how they feel. But then for the trails, I started wearing the La Sportiva Prodigios.
Okay.
And then I've been figuring out what I'm gonna race in. I think it'll be Adidas probably, but
okay.
Yeah.
Super cool. All right. I'm always curious to hear what people are wearing these days. I like that you like the La Sportiva Prodigios. Check out the Pros if you haven't tried the Pros yet. The Pros. Those are dope. Super cool. How much eligibility do you have left? So you said you're in a master's degree. Do you have a whole nother year after this, or you just have one more year?
No, I'm done.
Just done? Okay. What are you studying?
Snow science.
Okay. Very cool.
So like snow hydrology. Yeah.
Cool. Super cool. Are you interested in like going to apply that in the job market afterwards, or like work as a glaciologist or a geologist, or like what do you want to do?
I'd like to work in the same field. I chose it very methodically, of like, what kind of people do I want to be around? And like, what's the working culture like? And I don't know, I feel like snow science people are just like nerdy dirt bags. And that's my people. So, I really like what I do, and I like to think I'm good at it. So I would like to continue in this career, because I'm like, my master's thesis is on like forest and snow interactions.
Super cool. Do you think you'd go for a PhD possibly after and go for that, or what do you think? That's a lot. It's a hard thing, but like, it's just interesting.
Yeah. Unlikely. If I can like get away with a good career without getting a PhD, I'd like to. I don't want to like write it off, but I don't really see myself wanting to go back to school once I actually start making money.
I totally get you. Nobody wants to be 40 and still be in school. Forget that. Or like 30s. It takes a long time. It's not. I have a lot of friends that have become doctors, and it's like, man, that's like, you really spend a lot of time. Yeah, you really gotta,
a bunch of my lab mates are PhDs, and it just looks pretty horrible, but they're doing a good job. But I don't know if I want to do it.
For sure. No, I have an undergraduate degree in geology, and I worked as a geologist for first few years at college, and like, I don't know, it's always interesting to me talking to science majors or like people that are in like the applied and physical sciences, because it's like what you learn in school just becomes so different when you get out into the real world, and what people like, what the job classifications are like, or what they ask you to do. So it's interesting. It's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Super cool. All right. So let's get into some ending questions. I don't want to take all your time today. Curious. I want to talk to you about competition, like how you view it. Like, some people have a really healthy like relationship with competition. Some people some people are like really intense about it. Like, where do you fall on that spectrum?
I love competition. I I feel like if I didn't have it in running, I'd be a horrible person to be around in real life. Just like I'm such a competitive person. And I get a lot of joy out of pushing myself with other people and like all of us pushing forward. So yeah, I would say I have a very healthy relationship with competition for the most part. Sometimes I get way too nervous. But yeah, I just love competing. And like, it was really hard for me when I was injured so much in undergrad, like not having that outlet. And so I'd just compete in other ways. Like I'd do a couple cycling races and yeah, it just it just gets me going.
I love it. I love it. It's funny. There's you'll meet a peer very soon. Who runs for Brooks, Taylor Stack. He's kind of a trail team adjacent. A lot of the people that are on the trail team know who he is. He runs for Brooks. And it's funny. I've heard a couple of stories told on the podcast about Taylor Stack about like, he's just like one of the most competitive humans, like that I probably have ever had on the podcast. So usually when I ask people, I'm like on a level of like 1 to Taylor Stack, like how competitive are you? So to me, it's very funny to hear like how people fall. You sound very competitive. I like that. I always like people that are not afraid to be like, yes, I want to like crush, because that's just like who I am. That's my makeup and that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I do have a question for you about cycling. Like, and I know you said you've spent some time in the pool with injury. Does like triathlon like ever interest you at all? Have you ever done any triathlons or?
I've never done a triathlon, and it always like I really want to do it, but I'm also so bad at swimming. I like
Same.
Which like I'm really good at like swimming to survive, but just like growing up in the Great Lakes state, I swam like every day in the summer. It was more just like splashing. So yeah, I'd be interested, but I think a lot would have to change for me to like be good at it.
Interesting. And it's so different than trail, right? Like trail is very much a soul sport, whereas like I feel like triathlon is so dialed and so by the numbers that like I don't know, it doesn't interest me as much, like just the run and bike component. But I have to be honest with you, I feel the same way about swimming. It doesn't get me too excited now. Plus, especially like when you jump in with all these people, like you get kicked and like they're like trying to like, yeah, I've heard horror stories. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I just have a hard time like visualizing how that would go for me of like, yeah, let's like breathe hard in a medium you can't breathe in.
Yeah.
And that just like I don't know.
I'm curious to see who inspires you.
Ooh.
It could be in sport, could be in life, doesn't matter.
That's a really good question. I mean, I guess a lot of people inspire me for various reasons. Yeah. Well, I guess like as a person and athlete and just like in general, I really think Ali Ostrander inspires me. Like I don't know, especially lately she's just been like very open about her experiences just as like a woman in sport and just as a human. And I really appreciate that. And I think like she like definitely sees like I don't know, it's someone's Instagram, so who knows, but like she appears to have like a really good sense of what it is to be human while also having fun with it. Because like being human is like a serious thing, but also like have fun. And yeah, I'm really inspired by her approach to running and life. Yeah.
Dude, you're the second podcast in a row that I've had someone I just had another podcast the other day that someone told me Ellie Ostrander. I got to get her on the podcast. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, she's a super cool girl. Like, so it's I understand. Like, it totally makes sense. She's an interesting one too, where it's like she's got like 130,000 Instagram followers, and it's like, how do you? It's like a weird, really hard thing. It must be very difficult to be that real. Like I hate Instagram to begin with, like personally.
Yeah.
So it's like to have to like open yourself up to 130,000 people who know your name or plus more, depending on how much reach you get, while also trying to like be you and then also trying to be an athlete at the same time. Like it can't be easy. So yeah, interesting. You had said, you did say something about Instagram as well. So I'm curious, like, how do you view that? Like, especially as an athlete, like I know a lot of people, especially when they get into the professional side of the sport, like struggle with being able to be their true selves. And because, you know, when you get a sponsor, you'll have to post for brands and you have to do all this stuff that you might not want to do. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, are you like very much trying to be authentic on social media, or how do you kind of rumble that?
I mean, I'm definitely myself on Instagram, but honestly, like a more extreme version. Like it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's more of like, okay, what would people find most entertaining about me? And like that's what I post, I think. But yeah, I think it would be silly to like share something with people that isn't yourself.
Yeah. Oh, you'll see a lot of it. Just wait.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I already do. Yeah, but yeah, I think it'll be interesting, like once I have to start like posting for realsies of like, all right, how do I want people to perceive me?
Yeah, it's a weird thing to grapple with. Like it's like,
yeah,
how do people perceive you? But also like, I don't know, I see a lot of people that are just like, just post about results, and it's like, that's great, but like, what's the process to get to there? You know, like it can't just be all about that, right? So yeah, it's interesting. Are you a big music person?
I am.
What's your pump up song before a hard effort or like a workout or a race? Like, what are you listening to?
It depends what I need. Because sometimes I'll like really need to chill out. Like I'll be like way too hyped up and I'll need to listen to something chill. And other times I'm like, okay, like you're actually racing today, let's go. And yeah, so it depends on the day. It also depends on like what kind of vibe I'm feeling. And usually it'll just be like my favorite song of the month. And but one I always go back to is My Fun by Suki Waterhouse. I just feel like it's exactly how, like it just is such a fun song. And it starts with like blood on, oh wait, how does it go? Something about like blood on the knees. And I don't know, I feel like it reminds me of childhood, just like skinning your knees and just like run around getting back up and just like, I don't know, hitting the ground and going back up. And I don't know, I really like that song. It's just a good vibe. And then also lately, for some reason, the Beastie Boys have just been really getting me going.
Yes, the Beastie Boys are the best. Love the Beastie Boys. All right, that's cool. I'm glad to hear the Beastie Boys are making more of a comeback. You're the first one I think that said it in like 110 episodes. So I appreciate you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so usually for the latter questions, I ask like something kind of out there from left field and wild. I kind of want to ask you about AI, but like, I don't know, like you're in college, so it's like you guys use it for everything. I'm like, do you like, what's your take on AI? Are you stoked for it? I feel like for your like for snow science and stuff like that, like certain aspects of it are awesome, I guess.
Right. Well, I'm really happy that for my undergrad I didn't have it because I don't think I'd learn anything.
Yeah.
So like I do a lot of programming, and I think if I had taken the classes I had to take in undergrad for computer science and programming, I would not be able to do what I do today. And I use AI like every day for programming, but
what do you do? What do you program? What's the language? Do you use Python, or what languages do you use?
Use Python.
Python.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think because I have like an actual programming background, I know what to look for when AI spits something out weird, or if I like want to tweak it a little more. Like I can go through it and see what's wrong. Where I think is a lot of people who use AI more can't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a useful tool, but it definitely you have to be able to write good prompts to get good outputs. So
That's true. That's true. I've even used it a little bit for like certain workouts and stuff like that. I'll ask you questions. Like if I give it like super, so you have to like be able to like really like ask it a few times and get very specific. But some of the stuff it's given me, I'm like, damn, all right, let's give this a try. Yeah. It's a little bit, I don't know. It's cool. I also think it's going to be our like evil robot overlord one day, but I'm a little worried about that. Like maybe like a decade down the line, hopefully not, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep our importance as humans.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm very pro-human. Yeah.
Humans are good.
Cool. Well, Kyla, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This is a great conversation. Wishing you the best of luck in the rest of your season and as you get started in your trail season. I'm so excited for what you're going to do this summer, and yeah, definitely will be in touch. I'll probably see you at Sunapee, and we'll probably be interviewing you before Sunapee as we start to do a breakdown of all the elite women. So it should be fun.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think? What a fun episode. I want to thank Kyla so much for coming on the podcast. It was a great conversation, and I'm just absolutely wishing her the best of luck in her 2025 season. It's going to be fun to follow along at Sunapee coming up in like less than 90 days. That's going to be a bananas race. So excited to see what's going to unfold there. So crazy stuff. Before you guys get going, hop on Instagram. You can give Kyla a follow. You can find her at Kyla_CM, typing in, that's KYLA_CM. Obviously, CM stands for Christopher-Moody. Send her, give her a follow, send her some DMs, let her know what you guys thought about the episode. I'm sure she'd love to hear from you all. And yeah, super cool stuff. Before you guys get going, if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you consume your podcasts. That would mean the world to us. And hope you guys have a great rest of your week. We've got some fun stuff coming down the pike. And right now we're just doing the initial planning for what's going to happen with Broken Arrow and Sunapee. We've got a lot of good race previews. We've got a lot of good interviews coming up, and there's just going to be a lot of fanfare and just fun surrounding these races. So it's going to be some good stuff. Really appreciate you guys following along and tuning in. Have a great rest of your week.